Alex Behunin, LowKick MMA here with Ricky Glenn, who returns to action October 7th against Drew Dober. Rick, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just heading to practice.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You're about 3 weeks out. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Just trying to stay sharp and be healthy. Not overdo it. That's the hardest part when it comes to training is avoiding those little injuries and things. Just like
Yeah.
last time I was supposed to fight Dober, I got injured and had to have surgery 2 weeks before our fight. So I'm glad it's working out again this time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Before we get to your fight, I have a very important question. Do you like Ricky or do you like Rick? Like, what do you prefer?
Uh, I mean, it just depends. Like a lot of people have been calling me Rick for years. My real name's Ricky, obviously, but I don't care. It's like if you feel like calling me Rick or Ricky or the Gladiator or Glenn or something, like that's cool with me. It don't really matter. It kind of like I don't know. It kind of got weird. Like some people make it kind of weird. You're not making it weird or nothing, but I just started going by Ricky again, or like, yeah, I prefer Ricky, whatever. And then the UFC asked me like, all right, so do you want us to change your name on your stuff like to Ricky? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, okay. And then now everyone's like, uh, Ricky, and it's like, just call me whatever you want. I don't care. Ricky,
Gotcha. Well, thanks for
kind of
that.
silly.
Um, awesome. Well, last thing before we get to your fight, what did you learn in that fight against Christos back in April?
Shit. I mean, this is a rough. MMA is crazy. The first person to make a mistake or hesitate, it could cost the fight. I kind of hesitated. I saw my shot and I just didn't commit to it. And he clipped me good with the main punch that I knew I needed to watch out for. You know, I thought I was still good. The ref disagreed, and as soon as I popped up, like I was so bummed. So much time goes into these matches that we have. Fights. All that layoff too. I had a good year plus layoff after recovering from that surgery, and it was just a fucking bummer. So it just sucked, and instead of pouting about it for too long, I just got back in the gym and worked on my weaknesses and worked on the things I needed to work on. But yeah, it sucked, and it just kind of you know set me back a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time you'd ever been finished by strikes in your career. So did that kind of trip you out a little bit?
No, I just I don't care. Like, thank God I wasn't injured. And I was healthy enough to get back into training right away. Yeah, it is a bummer. Like, that's the worst way to get finished. I feel like is with via TKO or knockout.
Hmm.
I had been submitted what twice, I think. Yeah, twice. Yeah, twice. I think I lost submissions. A lot of decisions. Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst one.
Gotcha. You are fighting again this year, which the most active you've been since 2018. How does that feel?
Good. I mean, I was ready to go within like a week. I mean, I could have fought again. I feel like after my last fight, but I threw my name in for some short notice fights, and a few guys turned them down, and I thought I was gonna get matched up, but I had a suspension actually for 90 days after that fight, so I wasn't able to take. There was a fight against Jamie Malarkey that I was gonna take on a week's notice, and was confident. And, the other ones, same thing, but I was ready to go right away, and it was about like a week or two after that last fight I had. I was like, I'm ready for whatever short notice things you guys got. And my manager, Jason House, was on it. And I just didn't work out. And yeah, here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, last thing I was just like, has it been kind of frustrating not to be as active as you would like to be? I mean, I know that there's just been injuries and just the layoffs, and it's annoying, man. Like you're a very fun fighter, but you haven't been as active
Thanks.
as as you probably hope you would be.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I want to fight at least 3 times a year. 4 would be perfect. And it just, I guess it just kind of happens sometimes for this little bit of time in between. The time goes quick, though. I've had a couple decent layoffs, and it goes fast. So I need to make the most out of the days and get all the training in and, uh, family time and try to equal that out a little bit. But it's, it's a tough game. I just got to own the day, and the time's going to come. And when it comes, I need to not hesitate and really own the moment kind of thing.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, like, do you feel like you're kind of forgotten about in a way because you're not fighting 3 times a year? Like, you've been in the UFC for a long time, but like your inactivity, people are like, I feel like people just kind of forget about you until you come back and they're like, oh fuck yeah, it's Ricky Lynn.
Yeah, I'll go out to Vegas, and during fight week I'll run into some random some big time fans, and like, oh, I've been following you since 2011 or 14 or way back this, and then they'll mention some old fight, and I'm like, oh wow, damn, and like, so that kind of like uplifts me and stuff. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm a little bit forgotten about and overlooked and stuff, and it's definitely a bummer. Like when you lose your fight, you're not getting any interviews or anything.
Right.
No one's not really many people are checking in on you or seeing what's next and seeing how things are going. That's just the name of the business, I guess. So it's a bummer, but I just obviously just need to win.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thanks for that. All right. Well, let's watch your fight, man. Drew Dober. Obviously, you were matched up against him prior. So I'm sure you've probably studied this guy a little bit too much. How do you like the matchup?
I like the matchup a lot. He's impressive. Strong, athletic guy. Comes forward. He's gonna bring it. I expect a war. I'm expecting a drag out freaking war with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it's a fucking hope. It's a fantastic fight. For some reason, it was on the prelims, and then finally it got bumped up to the main card because everybody was like, "What the fuck is this doing on the prelims?" So you guys are back on the main card. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is just a war. I mean, you look at this picture and like, oh yeah, this is gonna be violent. So do you expect you guys just to go to war basically?
Yeah, basically that's what I'm expecting. Yeah, basically, I mean, he didn't come out there fucking try to rip my head off with with his punches he likes to throw, and it's been working for him for a long time, and he's been at the highest level for a while, and he lost his last fight as well, so I imagine he's going to come out hard. So I need to be on my p's and q's and be sharp and freaking ready to go right away. No feeling out shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, do you see
No
this?
feeling out for this one.
Yeah, right. I mean, do you see this as a 3 round boxing match, or do you see like you're gonna use you have very good grappling. Like, do you feel like it's gonna be a mixed martial arts fight, and you will use your grappling?
Oh man, it depends on the distance. I've been working, controlling the distance better, let my hands go, kicks and elbows and everything like that. But he's gonna come in hard, and I think if he's losing rounds, he's gonna go for a takedown. We've seen it in a few of his fights, but he's not big on the wrestling, but he's still got wrestling, and he likes to come forward and use the cage, push people up against the cage, do his body shots, his hooks and his crosses, and we'll see. I guess it depends on the pressure he brings.
Right.
Depends on the pressure, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I this fight's primed for fight of the night. You haven't got one of those since your UFC debut. So I mean,
I know.
is that what
There,
you're looking
there
for?
was a couple. Shit, a bonus would be the bonus is life changing for me. Like, I just been kind of scratching by since I had a hip surgery and then this groin surgery, and like we're doing all right. Very blessed still, but like a bonus for us living small town Iowa. Like even that $50,000, I can invest and get another rental property or something like that, and kind of help set my family up for the future and after fighting kind of stuff. So I'm looking at this fight as an opportunity to level up, like in life, not just in my career, but it's going to be a huge win. He's a big name. After that, you know, they could maybe renegotiate my contract and start fighting ranked fighters. So there's a lot of good opportunities coming out of this, and it's a big leveling up opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I think you were going to mention that, I think there's a couple fights in your UFC career that could have easily got fight of the night.
Yeah,
I look at the Dennis Bermudez fight. That was a fun one. The Miles Jury's fight was a good one. The
Gavin Tucker.
Gavin Tucker, you dominated him, right? Like that could have been an easy performance of the night,
I thought so too, but it just didn't happen. And I bet if I would have finished him, they would have gave it to me. But like I think that was the first time judges scored a 10-7. I think I had multiple 10-7 rounds in that fight, so I thought that would be a bonus fight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Awesome. Well, let's just get right to it, man. At the end of the day, October 7th, how do you get your hand raised?
Like obviously I don't care, but I want to knock the guy out. I want to knock them all out. Shit. So if he comes in hard, he better watch out. He might get knocked out.
Man, awesome. And then finally, I wanted to ask, Grant Dawson is the main event. Obviously you fought him.
Yeah.
You were his first draw. I mean, basically his first draw, his first, loss. And I guess you can even say, is that kind of weird fighting underneath him, or do you think he's just improved since your fight?
Yeah, he's improved, but I've been the only one to actually test the guy in the UFC, and so it gives me I guess it gives me a little more street credit in the company, I guess, when it comes to that. And yeah, I feel like I finished the guy in the last little bit of the fight. He couldn't get up. His cornerman came in, helped him up. And I'm pleading with the ref, pointing at him like, look at him, he's out, he can't get up. He's not even making eye contact, and he's just out of it. He fell back down. I'm like, he's not able to continue. He can't get up. That's it. He was out. And I think the same thing with this fight. This guy's not going to want to go past the first round. He's probably going to come out hard and try to finish me quick, and try to bowl him up against the cage and throw some bombs.
I mean, if it was Pride rules, you definitely would have beat Grant Dawson. So, I mean, there is that.
Thanks.
I mean, what is your prediction for that main event? Do you think Grant beats Bobby Green?
Yeah, I like Bobby Green. So he's a cool, respectful guy. I've shared a training room with him before our last fight, or he fought right before, well, back in April. Yeah, we shared a training room, and he was really respectful. He seemed cool, but I think Grant Dawson's gonna beat him. Probably rear naked choke. He's really good at getting people down and getting their backs. I see him submitting Bobby.
Gotcha. Awesome, Ricky. I really appreciate your time, man. If you want to plug your social media, any sponsors you might have, and if you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mostly do Instagram, Gladiator MMA. Training gyms. I've been training at Revolution Martial Arts, Henzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in Des Moines. I've started training over at Tipping Point in Cedar Rapids. Ben Askren. I went up to Milwaukee. Saw the Pure Vita guys, reconnected with some old teammates and coaches there, and 360 Jiu-Jitsu in Milwaukee as well. Scott Houston, my Jiu-Jitsu coach, and thank my wife, my family, my friends, people that reach out to me after my fights, win, lose, or draw. Thank you guys. Especially after a loss, we're not getting interviews and stuff. No one. It's different. You're in a tough spot and you're not getting interviewed. And you're like, shit, or they forgot about me. I'm a fucking loser. Thanks for the people that, even though I lose, still kind of give me hope and give me inspiration and motivation and all that stuff. So, and thank you for long time fans and things. Thank you all.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.